not admitted without parents or guardian. Under 17 not admitted without parents or guardian. Under 17 not admitted without parents or guardian.
Vengeance pierce, lurking death, shadows cast, haunted eyes from the past, silent scream, broken trust, ashes turn, dust, dust.
I never know when those Electro Manuel songs are going to end.
They go on and on.
I think that might be one of my favorite.
Oh, really? Awesome. I'll let them know.
Well, I think what's interesting about this, our first film tonight, Coffee, is, of course, a blaxploitation film, one of the biggest and best blaxploitation films, if you ask me. And the soundtrack is kind of funky 70s soul waka waka guitar, but Electro Manuel's take on seeing those images with that music behind it, that was really intriguing. I liked it.
Yeah. I love this movie, and I obviously am a big Jack Hill fan. So I think that's a big reason of it. And it's funny because AIP was supposed to have Cleopatra Jones. They had a handshake deal, and it got sold out from under them. So they wanted to beat Cleopatra Jones to the theater, and that's what this movie is. I mean, it actually did way better, which is pretty exciting. And there was supposed to be a sequel, Burn, Coffee, Burn, and they said sequels aren't doing really well right now, so they made Foxy Brown instead. which is fine.
And-
Foxy
well,
Brown's great too.
It might as well be Coffee too,
Yeah,
if you ask me.
yeah,
It's kind of different characters, same kind of story, same action. She's resourceful.
yeah,
You know, one of the many things to love about Pam Grier. I just adore Pam Grier.
yeah.
But one of my favorite things about her characters is how resourceful they are, always. Even all the way up to Foxy Brown.
Yeah.
Or not Foxy Brown, Jackie Brown.
Yeah. I love her in it. She's one of the few good things of Escape from LA. She's really good in Escape from LA.
Yes.
And
Oh my God,
that was
yeah.
my favorite thing about that movie when she showed up. I'm like, oh, okay, well, this totally is great. It's really interesting that she said in interviews too, like people were upset that she was nude in movies and showing off. And she said there aren't that many Black women showing their curves and showing their colored skin on screen. And she thought that that was what she should do. Like that, you know, she needed to be a sex symbol and to be there, which she definitely is. So
Absolutely.
I'm a huge fan of her. Like she's really great. She was just in a Tubi movie last year that was really good about drug dealers. I can't remember the name of it is, and she was great in that too. Like she's still doing stuff, still out there. So
is she still working? Like when was
Yep.
the last
that one came out last year that she was in.
Oh, okay.
It was on Tubi, yeah. And Foxy and Jackie Brown's obviously a great movie. Like between her and Robert Forster being in it, it's so good.
Oh yeah, it's just astonishing.
Yeah, it's funny because I wasn't excited about it when it first came out. I don't know why. I don't know what I was thinking. And then
Jackie Brown.
Yeah, and then I watched all the Tarantino movies again, and then I was like, why did I like sleep on this movie? This movie's so exactly what I like. Do you know what I mean? Like near perfect for me. So
yeah,
you know,
it's fantastic. It's another one I slept on in the theaters. Like I just totally was not feeling Tarantino. I hadn't even seen Pulp Fiction theatrically.
wow.
Yeah, and I mean, I just knew what a big deal it was, but it took me forever to see it. And you know, of course, I felt like an idiot because I'm like, these movies are so good.
Yeah,
even the ones I didn't think I was gonna like Kill Bill.
Yeah,
I didn't want to watch it because I was like, that's gonna be stupid. And like the minute she opens that door and she fights with Vivica Fox, I was like, holy shit. Like I hope the whole thing's like this.
well, also it helps
Fucking
because
love
there's so many things in Kill Bill that we love, obviously.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Because like it's got the psychic theme in it. It's got like Twisted Nerve being whistled. Like there's so many.
Yeah.
It's like almost like an IMDb page for nerds, like brought to life. Like 2 movies worth of IMDb trivia that became real. But yeah, I love it. And like I've gone back and watched it maybe more than the other Tarantino films now. And just really just love the world of it. And it feels like it works with True Romance too, which is, you know, he only wrote that, but they very much feel like they're in the same world. So that's what I like so much about it.
I think the only Tarantino film up till now that I really didn't like was The Hateful Eight.
You know what? I really liked it though. Like, but I also love Italian Westerns. So I think if you look at it through that lens, maybe you might like it a little more. It feels a lot like movies like The Great Silence. And that's probably what I like about it. But
it's my own flaw that I don't like Hateful Eight.
No, I actually
I admit it.
It's funny though, because like my mom has never seen a Tarantino movie, and she watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and she loved it. She's like,
Yeah.
I've never seen any of his movies, and he's really good. Like you're right. And I'm like, yeah, it's so nice. So yeah, but tonight Coffee, and this is a really interesting time in Hollywood where, you know, AIP is kind of like an anything that works, right? They're going to make whatever genre is hitting, they're going to be part of. And blaxploitation was hot, so this is AIP's enter into it. And this is I think the 4th movie Jack Hill had made with Pam Grier. He had made, or the 3rd, he made Big Birdcage with her before this. And you know, it's Jack Hill's another person that he hits every genre almost, and there's something to like about all his movies.
This wasn't their first blaxploitation film though, because I mean Blackula had come out the year before, and I think there was one before that.
Yeah, but I mean everything was, if there was a
horror film. Yeah,
if there was a hot trend though, AIP was going to make a movie in it, or they were going to invent it. You know what I mean? Like they had those. There's one thing.
Year was Sweetback. There was 71 or 70.
I like Sweetback a lot.
Was it 71 or 70?
70, I think. Sure, someone in the chat will tell us. But I think the thing I like about AIP is like if beach pictures are big, and a lot of times they're innovating it. Do you know what I mean? If a beach picture is big, they're going to do it. If Eurospy's big, they're going to be involved with it. And up until they only had a few years left here, but I'm let's just enjoy it while it is. Anytime I see the AIP logo, Bill, it makes me so filled with glee and just
even as a kid, that made me happy.
Yeah.
All of my favorite movies started with that, like Blackula, which was an always watch when it was on TV, and then Squirm.
Yeah.
I think wasn't that AIP? I think Squirm had it in front of it. It was just
any of the Poe movies too. Like I kind of knew them for that. Like, oh, they're the guys that do the Vincent Price. I know they aren't the only person that did the Vincent Price movies, but as a kid, I'm like, oh, the Vincent Price people. And I know that's how I saw quality. I always think about that as a kid. Like, how did I get to the point where branding mattered to me? Like, when did I realize that like I like certain comic book artists or certain directors, or do you know what I mean? That the same people were making the things that I love, because now that's all we talk about. But when you first start watching these movies, like it's really interesting. It's like, oh, that's why I like them, because they're coming from the same studios or the same, mindset.
They were curating strange things in the world and showing them to us.
Yeah.
Those of us who were very young and knew nothing, it showed us sites like,
I think about that a lot, though. It's like, because I was reading a thing Mike wrote for my site about USA Up All Night and Cheerleaders Wild Weekend, and like how that was, he wasn't picking these movies, and he was the right age for USA Up All Night and Commander USA, and like those folks were curating those movies for him. And like I feel the same way. Like Superhost and Chili Billy were doing that for me. You know what I mean? Like maybe not they weren't picking them, but you know what I mean? Like movies
they worked with what they had, but
yeah,
somebody, I mean, whether it was chance or just
the package
random luck. I mean, it was just sort of, we were lucky to have seen movies like this and as diverse. I'm not talking about Coffee, obviously. We veered off into Chiller Theater, but the stuff that they showed on Chiller, like you always mention how they showed Marta and Lipstick, I think was on there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was strange.
It's strange because you might get a Spanish horror movie like Belle from Hell, or you might get Giallo, and then you might just get a 50s monster. There's some movies that played on Chiller like 17 times. Do you know what I mean? Like because they had it and they owned it, and it was public domain. They didn't have to pay a lot for it. Do you know what I mean? But then there were others that they had this package, and truthfully, where else was Marta going to play on Channel 11? Like it's not. I guess
it is spooky. It's a thriller, definitely. Sort of.
Yeah, it's a thriller. Is it a Chiller movie? I don't know. It doesn't matter though. I guess it is, because that's what's interesting to me. It's like, when does it I think about that a lot when I look. Today I was looking through the movies we've shown, and it's like, is this the kind of movie that we shown? I was talking to Becca about this movie today, and she's like, well, Coffee's not a horror movie. And I'm like, yeah, but we don't just show horror movies. Like, it feels like if it played at the drive-in, a lot of times that works for us. Like, these two movies could have played together to drive-in. And what unifies them obviously tonight is there are two really tough women. And wow, Susie Bannion. By the way, I just looked up and saw Susie Bannion was tonight's sponsor. I'm glad that she's
Susie
doing
Kendall.
Yeah, Susie Kendall.
She sent us some ching chong, and so did Susie Chapstick.
Wow, that's crazy.
I remember her. She was like the alter ego of Susie Chappie.
I think about the beginning of. Sorry, this is total Sam stream of conscious, but the beginning of Suspiria with that little voiceover, it's like Susie Bannion came at 10:22 a.m. p.m. Like that whole speech is crazy, and then it just goes into like that is the last moment of reality in all of Suspiria, and everything after. And
even that's stilted and weird.
Yeah, and it's still like, oh, I just woke up on a plane. I don't know where I'm at, and I'm jet lagged, and nobody's gonna let me into the place where I'm supposed to stay for the next 2 years.
That was so random the way she arrived there. I mean, like, was nobody, I don't know, I guess it was the 70s, and you didn't have a cell phone. It seems totally mind-boggling to me now.
This is something we've talked about it a million times, but the business model of the Tons Academy is fascinating to me, because there is none. Like, how do they stay in business outside of, I know it's witchcraft, right? Like, that's probably what keeps them in business. But they have like one old lady cook and her weird son that chops the meat for her. They have, do you know what I mean? Like, how many people work there? Not that many. How many students do they have? Nobody's really sure. Like,
Are they all witches?
yeah,
That's my biggest question about Suspiria is like Olga.
yeah.
Is she a witch? Does she know about this? You get the impression that the students don't know.
No.
So I don't know.
That's what's weird
I
about it.
like
Is
to
like,
think about it.
how many students there are involved in the witch scene? And how many are just there to dance? And do you think
Yeah.
some of the ones that are just there to dance, like when they meet somebody, like say later on Classmates or like one of those, or Facebook, you know how it tells you like, oh, you have this many alumni to meet from here. And they talk like, were you into the weird witch stuff that was going on there before the school blew up? What are you talking about? I was just there for dance.
Yeah.
This is why we're not getting to do this. This is why we're not getting to do the Suspiria commentary, because the track would just all be about us talking about the intricacies of the business plan of the Tons Academy. This is the stuff Bill and I text each other about. The little behind the scenes of what it's like to be friends with us. This is the stuff that we talk
Professor Vertigast, or
Yeah.
not Vertigast, the white-haired Milius.
Yeah.
Who she goes to talk to in the square. He tells her that witches want to accumulate great wealth.
Yeah.
And you figure that, like, you know, look at all that shit Helena Marcus has in her bedroom. They could probably sell a couple of those statues and fund whatever crazy shit they wanted for a couple of years.
Yeah, like if Facebook Marketplace had only been around at that time, they would have been like, my wife would have sent me to the Tons Academy to pick up a neon lamp. She's like, look, it's $40. Don't let them charge you more for it. Go pick it up. And then I walk in and it's just complete chaos with witches and blood. And I'm like, I'm just here for the fucking lamp. All right. That's all I want.
Be careful. It might explode at any moment.
It might.
It came from there.
I like that lamp only exists so people can be like, huh? Bird with the crystal plumage, huh? Like, oh my God. I love it so much. What a self. Do you think, I would like to think Argento was like, there will be some people that will get obsessed by this movie for weird reasons, for nothing to do with what I wrote. Like, it's just the weird subtext and whatnot.
Edwin says it's the windiest scene in all of cinema. You got that right.
Oh my God. If I got off the plane and I walked out of the door and it was that rainy, I'm like, why did I come here? Like, why did my life bring us here? And did this career, you know, I'd like to think that Susie Bannion ended up being in Staying Alive, the musical within Staying Alive.
Or what's the future? I mean, nobody stood on their tiptoes quite like she did.
Yeah. But I also think Staying Alive is about him being dead, and that whole movie about him being in hell and that the play's never going to happen. I really like to think that's because how does he meet Rocky? Like, they walk past each other in the street. This is a dream double feature. It's going to be Suspiria and Staying Alive, playing like
Staying Alive.
Yeah, and playing like Wicked on two different screens with the music just thrown over top of each other. So
Staying Alive is basically a rewrite of Faust. It's yet another version of Faust.
I love it because I have an obsession, and I think it's why I like Exorcist 2 so much. It's the sequel that nobody wanted, where it's like most sequels are like, oh, I just like to see the same thing again. Like, I want to see him dancing and doing disco again. Like, no, now he's a disco dancer, and now everyone you knew from the other movie, he doesn't talk to any of them. And that's
why you just said that out loud. Yeah. Like, that's one of the reasons that I love Exorcist 2 is because it isn't the movie that anybody wanted. And ironically, like the rest of the world, that's the reason I hated it the first time I saw it. And then I went back and saw it for what it is, and I was like, this is a really weird movie.
I want a movie where Danny DeVito is in danger and that everybody sits around a weird school with no walls and wearing metal headbands, and meanwhile James Earl Jones is whipping a thing around. Like, that's what I wanted Exorcist 1 to be, and so therefore I got it in 2. But if you just come for the soundtrack, like Morricone is the fix of so many things. Like that soundtrack, so good. But
could you imagine seeing it in a theater, being surrounded by that music?
Oh my God,
phantasmagorical flight of Pazuzu.
Oh my God, could you imagine if Morricone had done the soundtrack for Staying Alive? I think more people would have liked it. They'd be like, well, you know, this movie's not great. Morricone did.
It's got that soundtrack.
Oh, that soundtrack.
Or Tangerine Dream.
Oh my God, yeah. There's so many. Speaking of, I watched High Crime this week, the Castellari movie, and Oliver Onions did the music for it, and it's got the funkiest soundtrack. Why do Please the Attack movies bring the funk? I don't know. But I was watching this movie and it's crazy, Bill, because there's a scene in it where, spoiler warning if you haven't seen it, it's like the French Connection, but the Franco Nero version. Franco Nero tries to move his family away from the crime to get him away, and the criminals track down his daughter and hit her with a car. And like, by hit her by a car, like in an American movie, they'd hit her with a car off camera. No,
they hit her and hit her and
they hit her like 3 times in slow motion and then drive over. And like, I was like just dumbfounded.
Well,
and like, it's like Franco Nero, beautiful blazing eyes, screaming and slapping people. It's fucking great. And the music's like,
to be fair, she walked right out in front of that car, and it was a country road. It was like you didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
She kind of asked for it.
Oh my God. I was so excited about it. I sent it to Erica for my son Morris, like as I was watching it. She's like, "That's probably the best scene that's ever been filmed." And I was like, "Yeah," but it's so shocking because
When
you're
she
like,
left out of the book, or did
it's
she
in the it's in the book.
Okay,
it's in
good.
there's a top 10 of best vehicle kills. That's in the book. But it's so good when it happens. Like, you're like not ready for it. And there's another scene where dude gets stabbed in the dick in that movie, and like literally the guy does it, looks back at the camera before he does it, and you're like, wow, like this.
It's a Night of the Demon moment.
Oh my God.
Sort of.
Yeah. The movie is just mean. It's like, it's what I like about Italian movies. They're like, do you like Dirty Harry and maybe the Please movies? Yeah. What if people got stabbed in the dick and shot in the face all the time? Like, yeah, I would love that. Oh, we bring it to you. And like, that's what it is.
Oh, Frank explained what Oliver Onions means.
Mm.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Oliver Onion is the difference between a martini and a gimlet. That's right.
It's funny because like they're not singing like You're. Like in You're, they're just like, let's do like a Bee Gees song for a future barbarian. And in this movie, they're like, let's do the funkiest soundtrack ever that 2 Italian guys can do for a movie about people getting slapped. It's great. Man.
I think in that in the movie Parents, do you remember that movie Parents?
Yeah.
About the little boy who discovers his parents. He's starting to realize his parents are cannibals. And there's a little girl in it that stands up in the middle of class and says the difference between, or no, it's a Gibson. She calls it, she's like, if you put an onion in a martini, it's a Gibson. And that was what she shared in front of the class. And the teacher was like, oh, okay, thank you.
That feels like a very much a VHS era, rental HBO era movie that was on a lot.
Edwin noticed I was going for my Wendy Torrance Ash.
Nice.
Or Sigourney Weaver in Aliens. She did it too. She tried to steal that title from Shelley Duvall, and she didn't.
When I quit one of my jobs, one of my bosses was smoking, and he was so upset that we quit. He didn't ash his cigarette, and it was literally like this far out. And the other guy and I, we were quitting together. We just kept staring at his cigarette. We should have been, he was trying to like beg us to stay, and like we should have been listening to him, and we were just dumbfounded by the ash on his cigarette. Did you ever do that to someone where you can get like a metal? There's like, they used to sell this at joke stores. There was like a metal rod you could put in a cigarette, and you couldn't ash. It would keep the ash on it.
Yes.
Oh, that, and the meanest is bang the things that you put in that make cigarettes explode that you like push in with a pen.
Yeah.
And they make the end, but that's the meanest thing in the world.
I used to do that. Well, it was like these little things that you put in there that would make the cigarette explode. They were like little I don't know, caps or something.
Yeah. The trick is to set up somebody's whole pack where there's only one cigarette that doesn't do that. So that when they pick that cigarette, they don't enjoy it because they're like the whole time they're like, is it going to blow up? Every other one's blown up but that one. This week, an update.
You are so evil.
I know. An update on my life this week. I tried this week. I said to myself, I'd really like to get a bad habit because I don't have any outside of drinking and drugs and watching too many movies. And I was like, I need another bad habit. So I'm like, I'm going to start doing snus, right? Smokeless tobacco. And yeah. And I was on the way to my mom's, and they have it in non-tobacco flavors, Bill. This is like orange chill. And you don't spit with this. This doesn't cause you to spit. So I'm like, this seems like a good idea. Like, what's it do? Okay, yeah, it's got nicotine, but whatever. So I got one, and I was like, it made me feel kind of weird. But, I'll try it again. I kept it in my jacket. Of course. My wife picked up my jacket. Thought they were mints, and I was working Monday morning, and she called me upstairs. like I'm a child. She was like, "What is this in your jacket?" And I'm like, "It's keep in mind, Becca smokes a pack a day at least." Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
And
jeez.
I was like, "It's my snooze," and she just looked at me and she's like, "No, we're not. You're gonna throw those in the garbage while I watch." And I was like, she's like, "I've been smoking since I was 11," which again made me laugh in this situation, right? And I'm like,
so that's okay.
yeah, and I was like, okay, but she's like, no. I'm like, I just want a bad habit. I was trying to argue this with her. She's like, no, you're gonna throw them away. And it was like $7, $6, whatever for him. And I was like, that was like $6. Just let me do the rest. No, I don't want you to get addicted to nicotine. That's the
I always
exciting
think that's funny about how people who smoke, they don't understand how gross that is to people who don't smoke, and they look down on people that chew.
Yeah.
That is gross. I think that's really like the spitting, but the smoking is. I mean, and I say this with a cigar in my hand, so I'm not looking down on anybody.
And
you
keep
can
in mind
smell it on somebody though.
When I got in the car, I was like, God, this car smells like cigarettes. Because winter is like the time that you can just smoke in the car. And,
I hate that. That's the worst part is like how it gets on their fingers and you can smell it.
Yeah. So anyways, we had an impasse. This is like Monday morning, 8:45 in the morning, us fighting about snooze. Everything worked out. That's my life update for the driving.
I had no idea this was a thing. That's how uninformed I am about
it is because
smokeless tobacco.
I worked on it because when I was at one agency, we had a smokeless tobacco account. And it ruined a lot of stuff because we were also at UPMC and like, well, as a healthcare company, we don't want to work with you if you sell tobacco. And my boss was like, oh, I don't see why it's a big deal. And they're like, well, it is. So we had to drop it. I wrote way too much about snus and I don't know why. I was like on the way, I drove to Elwood that day and I was like, I should get snus. These are the decisions that grown-ups don't make. This is why I'm like a child. Like, why do I get to do anything? I should just be left alone in my horror movie basement just to write all day and not get to go out.
Hey, you like my Judith Priest shirt?
I do. I love it so much. I'm so excited that
I love her.
Judith Priest. A Judith Priest movie might be coming out pretty soon, Bill.
Which Judith Priest movie is that?
Which one is that? Reanimator Academy. They're playing it. It played a theater a couple months ago as part of the Visual Vengeance theater thing. So that's pretty exciting.
Hopefully we'll be seeing it soon.
Hopefully. Yeah. So anyway, we should probably talk about coffee because that is our movie.
Oh yeah. We're talking about coffee and tea, coffee versus tea.
There was
Tracy said she likes tea.
From what 70 to 73, the blaxploitation movie. You know, it didn't go away. I like when people are like, oh well, these genres only exist within this time. No, they don't necessarily. You know, they still
would say that.
You know, like I would argue that like Boys in the Hood and I'm Gonna Get You Sucker and you know, Original Gangsters. There's been tons of blaxploitation movies post the end of the genre, but there was a time where this was the hottest thing that, you know, and also because in a lot of these movies, this is like the first representation for black characters on screen. Now, is it always the best representation? No, I would argue the Coffee's a good representation. She's a nurse. And again, like you said, very, she can do anything. Like if
she's MacGyver before MacGyver.
Exactly. Like I have no worries when she's doing anything. Like she also looks amazing. Her outfits are incredible. She has these like zip off sleeves sometimes. You know what I mean? Like she has like so much going on, and she's here to clean up the hood.
Well, it's personal for her. She has a really good reason to be doing what she's doing in this movie, even if you don't like how she's living.
Yeah.
But she just takes matters into her own hands. She's not the kind of person to back down from anybody. She's not intimidated by many people.
I love this ad that Evern's like, hey, we know the Godfather is big, but what if we call her the God?
That's what, that went right over my head for many, many years. I'm like, godmother of them all. But then, duh. So how could you ever compare this to the Godfather? I mean...
They both have guns?
No. Yeah, that's it.
This is a Pittsburgh ad for the Stanley.
Coffee has better guns than The Godfather.
Oh, yeah,
I'll venture. I mean, she like the first gun you see in this movie is this fucking sawed-off shotgun she pulls out of her macrame purse.
Oh.
And you're like, holy shit, she is not fucking around.
Not at all. No. Oh, man. Yeah. So this a Pittsburgh ad?
Yeah, it's the Stanley.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Wow.
I got distracted.
That's really
there
nice.
by Pam Grier's gun.
Oh, it was just the gun. I'm looking at the ad right now.
Yeah. I know you and I look at Pam Grier probably differently.
Maybe a little, yeah.
So yeah, the Stanley Theater. You know, Coffee did not play any drive-ins in Pittsburgh. At least none that I could find. And I scanned it for a number of years, and I don't know. I guess it just never happened to play the drive-in. But the Stanley Theater is good enough.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I like that Sid Haig got his name last in his writer. It's like, and Sid Haig.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, you know, Sid Haig is big at this point. This is 73, and he's been in so many films.
Yeah, he's a go-to bad guy.
Yeah, I really like seeing him in a movie, and you know it's going to be good if Sid Haig's in it.
Yeah.
Well, most of them.
And, you know, someone that worked with Jack Hill an awful lot.
I like this part of the tagline. She's got a body men would die for, and lately a lot of them have.
This ad's great because I like the black coffee, hot coffee, sweet coffee, too. This ad's got a lot to say for it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, it's amazing that she's a nurse in this movie.
Yeah.
Because she is extremely well connected.
Yeah.
You know, her boyfriend is a politician. And I don't know, like
I like, well, you know, nurses take that pledge to do no harm, and she doesn't really live up to it a lot in this movie. She's like shooting people in the face, and
she has an asterisk.
Yeah.
By her do no harm.
Except for the man.
Except for the people that turned your sister into a junkie, and now she's catatonic.
Yeah.
So, you know, those people, it's okay to shoot in the face, according to her. And you can either agree with her or not agree with her, but there is no stopping her.
No.
I
like that this ad says now in it so that you know when it's happening, too. So
yeah.
Oh, a Pam Grier double feature.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the big bird cage.
I love that movie, by the way.
Anitra Ford's in that one, too, isn't she?
Sure is, yeah. I love that movie.
And not for 10 seconds like in The Longest Yard.
No.
Where she's Burt Reynolds' girlfriend.
I love that movie because it's like, it doesn't exist in our universe. Like, it's not like, no, like, things that happen to human beings happen in that movie. It's like, it starts bad, it gets worse. Everybody's horrible. Everybody's motivations are wild. Like, it's really good. Oh,
there's a skinnier ad for it.
Yeah. But I
love the skyscraper ads.
Yeah. Oh, how about that tomorrow? Huh? It's so nice.
Tomorrow. Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut that out and use it.
Yeah.
In one of our ads. Why didn't I put this up on the page?
Oh, this is beautiful.
Yesterday.
Oh.
Oops, I think I went too far.
Oh.
Well, here's another one of these.
Yeah.
This is a little more high contrast, darkened image. I like these too. I like it when it gets a little blotchy.
Yeah, I like this one.
You can barely see what she's doing in the sweet coffee panel.
Yeah, that'd make a great shirt.
Oh, hint, hint.
Hint, hint, yeah. Oh.
There we go. I like this.
I really like this, yeah. Wow.
Godmother of them all.
Oh. Sweet coffee. Oh, this ad. Oh my God. And the dots one too. Who slew Auntie Roo playing with this?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. What a double feature.
There was some kooky shit playing with coffee.
I like that as a double feature. I really liked it. I love Who Slew Auntie Roo a lot. It's what would you even call it? I guess a biddy exploitation. Yeah, lesbian Jalo.
Psycho Biddy, I guess.
Psycho Biddy, lesbian Jalo. It's great. Oh my God. Wow. This is a great ad. And man, I can't even think of people's minds getting blown by both those movies.
Yeah, there were lots of kooky things. Well, it was an AIP film,
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
forget. So,
yeah. Good call.
here it is with Thing with Two Heads,
Oh,
which features Pam Grier's cousin, Rosie
oh,
Grier.
yeah. Wow, that's crazy. Oh.
It was a Grier double feature.
You could tell that whoever owned these theaters was very much like, I'll play anything and make money. Like we have like Coffee on one screen and Song of the South on the other
Yeah.
screen. Oh, I saw Aristocats at the drive-in though. I definitely saw the Aristocats.
I feel like I did too.
Yeah, and I know that I didn't see Song of the South. That would have been, I probably would have remembered that. But I like the Thing with Two Heads. I like that there's two movies that came out right around the same time with the same idea.
Yeah, it was an idea whose time had come.
Yeah. And always like, a black guy and a white guy. Oh, Bill, how much do you love this? This
Those
is
lines on the side. Oh, my
but
God.
Three in the Cellar and Coffee together is a wild.
I just can't get over the fact that Three in the Cellar is not about like a James Gum kind of situation.
Yeah. I like that the again, this is one of my favorite things in ads for theaters when they advertise how cool they are, or advertise that they're cooled by refrigeration, or advertise that they're nice. It's like when a bar tells you that we have the coldest beer in town. I'm like, okay, so you have a refrigerator, good, I guess. Okay. But like there's a lot of ads, like old beer bar ads that say that too.
If you're in the South or the Midwest,
yeah,
in the desert, it's hot.
There's a bar in South Park that actually has an iced bar. Like they have a metal bar that they cool with refrigeration, and when you put your beer on it, it stays cold.
Ooh.
And I'm like, that's pretty fancy.
Don't lean on the bar though.
No, don't. It's freezing. Your hand will get stuck to it like Flick's tongue.
I mean, I guess you could wear your gloves and lean on it.
I mean, it seems like an insurance risk, but also I do like a really cold drink. I hate a warm drink because I grew up, we didn't have ice growing up. Like my parents would not let us have ice. I don't know why. We weren't allowed to put pop in the fridge. It seems like today, the fact that, I know. The fact that I can put sodas and beer in the fridge is so great to me. Like I have my own fridge, as you know, just down here, just for drinks. And my parents wouldn't. Like we always had a 3-liter that was just baking in the summer heat. And
no beer, no soda in the fridge.
No,
but the beer went in the fridge.
Rarely, like it would be on the porch, and like before it was drunk for like an hour.
Oh my God!
In the fridge. And like, oh, that seems so weird. And like, I hated soda growing up because I'm like, it would always be a 3-liter would go flat in moments, right? And like pretty much before you even got it home. And then it would just be so hot. And like, and my dad would be like, we're not getting another 3-liter until you finish this one. And it would be like Farmore brand soda. You know what I mean? It'd be like Far Cola or something. The worst tasting soda. Anyway, sorry. I have a bad memory here. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm just stunned. I'm stunned by that this happened.
That was one of those I passed for white movies.
Yeah. Wow.
I've never seen it though.
No, me either. But I can't believe that they played together.
Yeah.
Oh. Wow. Yeah, I like those. I don't like that they had to make them, but there's a lot of those, like they're almost like hygiene films where they're like women passing movies.
Oh yeah.
I guess you could consider Imitation of Life one, right? Because like the daughter wants to.
Well, the daughter, that's a plot point with the daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sarah Jane.
She
was so cruel.
Oh my God. Her mom died for like the whole movie. Like her mom started dying in the credits and she didn't die until the end credits. Like she died.
Was so mean to her. Yeah.
Oh my God. I know. And all her mom wanted to do was take care of her. Right. We
always laugh over the part where it's not meant to be funny, but that movie is very camp.
Oh, it totally is.
And she's like, she says, I can't take the train. I got to fly. Because she's dying and like she's gonna go see Sarah Jane for the last time.
I love that movie, but I think I love it, like you said, for the wrong reasons. I'm sure when it came out, people were like, this is real and this is happening, and I'm like, this movie's crazy. That's why I like it. Also, it was my grandmother's favorite movie, so it taught me a lot about my grandmother because like she loved drama. Do you know what I mean? And like, so like watching it, I'm like, this movie is just wall to wall drama. It's people freaking the fuck out for 2 hours.
She's a one chick hit squad.
Oh, she's
Yeah, both of our movies
yeah.
tonight are about female, for about hit women.
I was
Female
trying to
assassins.
explain our second movie to Becca because she said, that doesn't seem like the kind of movie you guys would show either. And I'm like, oh my God, just wait.
Well.
Oh, well. I said, because when you look at the poster, you're like, this seems like an innocuous Porky's kind of movie. No, it's not. Yeah, it's about to just hit you.
I mean, we've already talked about that several times already, so it's not spoilerish to admit.
Oh my God. I'm so excited. Oh my God.
It starts out that way. And
yeah.
It just sort of like takes a hard left turn. Which is one of the things I love about our second feature. Coffee, though, is straightforward from the beginning. It just keeps building and building and building.
Yeah.
And the payoff is just amazing.
What?
Yeah, wrap your brain around this one.
Oh my God.
This was in Chicago.
Yeah. Wow. I love
That's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Creeping flesh.
Yeah. Wow.
There's a lot of flesh in Coffee, but
it's
not the creeping variety.
I love this. This is why we do the show. This ad right here. This is made it up. Like this makes sense, right? Like this is the one that makes sense.
Yeah, this was Coffee. I should have mentioned it. It was released in June of '73, somewhere around there, late May, early June, and then this was a reissue in the winter.
Yeah,
like November, December, they reissued it with the Mac as a double feature.
Yeah, this is a good double feature.
And Coffee was a big hit, which is why she became known as Pam Grier, star of Coffee.
God, this whole ad is wonderful. I love Blackula so much. I love both Blackula movies. I wish they had made 10 of them.
I wish they'd have finished the second one.
Yeah, well, yeah.
That's the only thing I don't like about that movie is it just sort of stops.
Yeah.
It's like, wait a minute. Don't we get to see what happened?
It's an orgy of vengeance, Bill. Sometimes you just peter out during an orgy of vengeance. You're like, oh,
well,
I did all I could.
I guess. I ain't as good as I once was.
Yeah.
But I'm as good once as I ever was.
I'm undead now. I'm very tired. I like that it's open at 8:30 in the morning. But by the way, if you want to party, we'll be here all day till midnight. Like we're going to be open a long time at the ABC Great States, or no, the Dearborn north of Randolph. Is that a Detroit ad? Yeah,
it's still Chicago.
Oh, the Chicago. Okay,
I think that one's from Chicago.
Yeah,
I don't know. I pulled these in a hurry. I have to admit,
because that's a Michigan place.
There are some good cars in these movies, Frank. Coffee's got some great cars. I'm not a car guy though, so like I couldn't tell you. I just know that they're like the big boats, and they're luxurious. Pimps drive around in the back of cars like these. Yeah, as you'll see.
I love the an Escape from New York, the Pimpmobile that literally has chandeliers on it when it's driving through the streets. It's like, wow, like that's pretty amazing.
Oh, my cigar has gone out while I was talking about all these fabulous ads. Hey, we should probably do the drinks segment.
Let's do it.
Don't you think?
I think so.
All right. Well,
there's coffee.
Let's see what Sam Panico has dreamed up for us tonight.
What?
We're filming. Did you start filming?
Yeah.
Look. Quiet all morning. My dad's a drunk. Anyways, Flower Child coffee. It's a coffee drink for coffee. It's predictable, but you know what? It's also probably going to be really good. What do we got for this drink? Well, thanks for asking.
You should probably just get him.
2 ounce. Let's go get him. Hey. What's going on? You want to do a drink? Okay. Here he comes back. Hello. Hi.
No,
One take.
quiet.
We usually do it one take. There's no cutting. All right, what do we got, Cubby? Tell us. There's 2 ounces of Kraken, 1 ounce of Malibu, 1 ounce of Kahlua, 3 ounces of iced coffee, 1 ounce of half and half.
Now it's time. Shake it up. All right. Now you will be nice and quiet. Let's put it all together. In the shaker with ice. See how I crossed the streams there? My wife has generously donated her coffee. At any time, there's 15 of these in the house. I'm a barista. I am a barista. I'm on strike. I'm unionizing. Pazuzu. It's a gentle good morning coffee. Oh, that is nice. That is really nice. Well, you enjoy your coffee drink, you enjoy your coffee. Thanks for watching.
Okay. Pazuzu.
Susie, I'm currently drinking a Rusty Rail. Skies Out, Thighs Out. Pink lemonade sour.
Well, I'm on brand tonight.
Are you?
Here it is. Right here. I made this cocktail.
Let me know what you think of it.
It's delicious.
Oh, awesome.
I almost forgot the coffee. The most important part.
Yeah.
Because I had that pre-mixed. I'm gonna have to remember that because you have all that shit ready to go and you're like boom, boom, boom. Okay, I'm done. 60 seconds later, and I'm still like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Sorry.
It's like AI making your coffee for you. Anyway, cheers. I like this drink a lot.
Oh, awesome. Good. Yeah, I have some in the fridge. I'm going to have some in a bit. So I'm excited. Cubby was super wrought up. It was funny because he'd been quiet all morning. He was like silent.
I love that part.
And then literally as soon as we started filming, he lost his fucking mind. Like he was like, what is happening?
Of course.
Yeah. This is what he does. He's a lunatic. So.
I see Dr. Loomis screaming behind you. Isn't that Dr. Loomis?
It is. Wait, which way do I gotta go? There he is. Ah! He's getting ready to go to the Wendy's all-you-can-eat buffet from Nothing Underneath.
How many times did you shoot him?
Oh, Dr. Loomis. I love him. I think a lot about him, too.
Him? You what?
I think a lot about Dr. Loomis and his descent into madness across the movies.
I think about Dr. Loomis a lot, too. And you know what my favorite thing to think about is? About him? How the fuck did he not know that there was a baby girl in that house? She was 2 years old when Michael stabbed Judith.
Yeah.
And they died 2 years later, presumably after Michael Myers had been locked up for 2 years. And so, they're like, here we are, the Myerses, with our dead daughter Judith and our baby daughter, the future Laurie Strode, and our son's locked in a mental institution. And somehow Dr. Loomis does not know any of this stuff because after they're dead, they somehow make it a secret that there was a baby in that family, and he didn't know. He needed Marion to tell him that. I think about that all the time.
He might be like one of those. I've had creative directors like that just don't read notes. Like you give them like all the info and like, that was in the brief we gave you. Like that was in there. And I don't read. You guys give me too much stuff. Like, no, we give you the important stuff. You're supposed to read the stuff and know it. He had a daughter? Yes. There was another girl. Yeah. Also, like, what I love about the Halloween movies is like, today people like to break them down into what continuity they come from and stuff. But when they were making them, nobody thought about that shit. They're like, oh, this is a different side universe. No, they're just fucking they didn't even know who the Man in Black was when they were making it. And as they were making the movie, they didn't know who one of the main characters was.
We'll do one of these things later. We'll explain it in the next movie.
I can just imagine, like, they're like, these fucking kids will see it no matter what. And they were right. These fucking kids will keep buying it on DVD and Blu-ray. Yes.
Duh.
Yeah.
Of course we will. Of
course. You guys got us. We're set. But you know what? It's good. It's fun to obsess about. I'd rather think about this stuff than anything else, right? That's what it's about. I like that. By the way, the credits tonight were brought to you by Jamie Lee Curtis's wig. It was a bunch of people wearing different wigs. I watched
Mhm.
I watched a movie today that had they did reshoots 8 months in what is it? I have to look. The Convent, which I had never seen, and I
The
really
camera
liked.
wandered when you got up and got away.
I know. I looked at it was under this stack of movies that I had the camera sitting on. Anyway, the Convent, and they went back 8 months later and reshot, and everybody had to get wigs. And Adrienne Barbeau is wearing the same wig that she wore in Swamp Thing, so it's a movie of wigs. It's pretty great.
That's not a bad thing.
No, you know what?
Every movie should have wigs.
I'm into wig movies now post Halloween too, where I'm like, oh yeah, that wig. Like it takes a while. It's not something you notice when you're young. When you get older, like she's wearing a wig.
In a post Halloween 2 universe.
It is. I want to make a movie just about her hat. Where who gets the hat next? Is it like the Annabelle kind of thing? Like was Michael just coming for the hat to get the hat off her wall? This is my side universe movie that I'm making.
Did she pass that hat down to any of her daughters?
Yeah.
That's
Why did David Gordon Green get the hat in the 3D woods? Right? Like they should have come to her daughter's house, her granddaughter's room, and the hat's on the wall. I would have fucking that would have made me like those movies.
Maybe there was and we missed it.
I looked for it. They should sell the hat at Spirit this year. Like that's a push, right? Where it's like, you know, they sell all these posters and stuff to put on your wall. I want like an official hat from Halloween to put up on your wall.
Speaking of pretentious modern movies, what did you think of Nosferatu?
I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, come on. I thought we were going to talk about this.
I'm going to watch it. Did you watch it?
Mm-hmm.
What did you think? I'm excited to hear what you thought. Because now you have the secret way of watching it.
Yeah, that was a secret I'm glad I got.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's okay.
Yeah.
But masterpiece, like, I don't know. That word is being thrown around talking about it. And if you thought that about it, great. But I mean, I didn't.
I'm going to watch it so we can talk about it next show. Okay, I promise I'll watch it in between.
I mean, there's nothing really to talk about, I guess. Everybody knows.
No, this is good. This is exciting, though, because like for us to watch a modern movie and discuss it feels like a good plot point for the show.
They do keep it faithful to the original story, so there's not going to be like a new ending on it or anything. And
people are scandalized by it on Twitter, though. Were you scandalized by any of it?
Well, I expect they're talking about the fact that there's vampire dong in it.
Yeah.
Count Orlok's penis in one of the shots, and it's not in a sexual scene, even though there are sexual scenes involving Count Orlok in it. It's just really bizarre. And I wasn't crazy about Bill Skarsgård's makeup. You know, I guess they didn't want to do another movie with a bald, pointy-eared vampire, but why not?
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I didn't like what they did with it, but that's not make or break. You know, it was a good movie. It's just overly familiar. That's how I felt watching it. I was like, this is I don't know. I don't feel like it's better. It's not better than Werner Herzog's version in '79.
Is it better than the one that 8 people directed? The other Kinski one?
Oh, wait, what? Oh, Nosferatu in Venice?
Yeah.
Yes. It's better than that.
I like that, like, Kinski literally bit a woman between the legs and he's still in the movie. Like, nothing could get him fired from that movie. He could do anything he wanted, and he's like, he's like, I beat up the assistant director. Cool, okay, well, we'll see you tomorrow. That's how it goes. Yeah, I do want to see it, though. But I haven't seen The Lighthouse either. I don't know why this is. Like, I'm kind of like, it's like when someone has a good first album, like I always say, it's like, oh, well, I like that first album. Maybe I shouldn't listen to their other ones. Why do I have this feeling in my head? That's not a good way to go about it. I should want to experience these new things. I did watch a movie from 1980 this week, American Gigolo, which I've never seen, because when it was on
HBO in a movie.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. Because when it was on HBO when I was a kid, my mom's like, "You can't watch this. This is too dirty." And like I watched it, and I was like, "It's not really that." Outside of his, just the natural scene of him in the window, and like, "Oh, dong," like it's like, you know, it's not really that dirty. I don't know. Maybe she was upset I wasn't to know that. Also, it's a science fiction movie, right? Because like, oh, I am a man that makes enough money off old women to be a sex worker. Sure, right? Like we all know what's going on, but it's fine. I liked it. I got the Arrow Blu-ray of it or 4K of it. I watched it. It was very nice. So that was good.
An amazing Giorgio Moroder soundtrack.
That's what I will say. That's probably why I wanted to watch it as a kid. Giorgio Moroder and Call Me being in it. It's like, oh, the soundtrack. Also, the fashion too. Like that movie really set up fashion for the '80s too. Like it, you know what I mean, with the suits and her dresses. Like it's a very fashion important movie. I liked it.
Conscious.
Yeah. So I liked it. It's all I don't know. It's fine. But Bill Duke being in it was pretty cool because I'm like, oh, I only know him from Predator. So it's kind of, I'm like, oh, that's the dude. Isn't that sad? Like you do your whole career and you're in these big movies and someone means like, oh, it's a dude from Predator. That's not what I want to be known for, Sam. That's probably what he would say to me. I'd like to be known for other things. Oh, well, what can you do? Coffee, though. Very excited to watch this with everybody. Let us know if this is your first time seeing Coffee.
Yes. We want to know.
Yeah.
It's on Tubi. You can watch Coffee on Tubi. Oh, I didn't post any links.
You can just search for it on Tubi and you'll be fine. It's
Tubi,
the home. Tubi's not paying us for this, but the Super Bowl is going to be on Tubi this year. How about that? They're coming up in the world.
Really?
Yeah, you can stream the Super Bowl on Tubi. Because every time you load it up, you get a football thrown at for free. With lots of commercials on Tubi. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. There's a lot of cool stuff showing up on Tubi lately, though, Bill. There's a lot of French vampire movies, slow grandfather clock French vampire movies showing up on Tubi. So I'm like, wow. I love the idea, like a Mill Creek box set. Tubi is the Mill Creek box set of today, right? It's in everybody's home. I'm sure a lot of people have put it on their parents' TV so their parents can watch different shows. Randomly, their parents could load up Werewolf versus the Vampire Woman, or do you know what I mean? Like any of these strange movies we love, and just find it, because it doesn't feel like there's that many places anymore where you can get shocked by what comes on next. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Plus, they're way better than Mill Creek for the movies that have a fixed up version. It's usually the nicer one that you find on Tubi. Sometimes it's the public domain.
Well, you'll see in the later segment. I just found a Mill Creek set at a thrift store, and I can't tell you my excitement. I was like, I almost knocked a shelf over. I was like, what? A Mill Creek set I don't have? I like when I get a Mill Creek set and the movie is orange. It is like Vinegar Syndrome out. It is like beat up. There's cigarette marks all over it. I'm like, this is how I want to watch a movie.
I like that too.
Bullshit. Yeah, sometimes I do like that though, right? David said, idea horror movies based on the movie Groundhog Day. Titles, I can think of Happy Death Day 1 and 2. That's 2 that I can think of.
That was what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Horror Groundhog's Day. But I love those movies.
Yeah, I haven't seen the second one.
You haven't?
No, is it good?
Oh, it's really good.
Is it? I love the first one, so I want to see it.
If you love the first one, you're gonna love the sequel, Happy Death Day to You.
Oh, okay. I'll definitely watch it. Yeah.
It's even more. It goes way sci-fi.
Oh, okay, cool. I like that then. I like that they made a sequel to it. It feels like the right kind of movie for it. I really like the first one. They're making a sequel to It Follows, and part of me is weirdly interested to see where that could go.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Maybe 10 years later. I don't know if anybody wants a sequel to it, but who knows? Anyways.
All right. So let's get ready to watch Coffee. It looks like nobody is watching it for the first time. At least if they were silent.
They're hiding their virginity, their coffee virginity.
We want you to be a coffee virgin. So, at least there can be 1 or 2 audience members who are blown away by Coffee. But anyway, go watch it. It's on Tubi. Come back afterwards, and we're going to have lots more to talk about. This is my favorite Pam Grier movie. What about you?
It's either this or Foxy Brown.
Yeah, it's definitely a toss-up.
Yeah.
Well, okay, here we go.